And there we go. Now, for everybody joining us right now, yes, I know on the stream there was no audio. I did that on purpose because we had a few things to talk about, all right? But we are back at it once again here live at the Mainline Sports Bar in Oakland. I'm joined by my guy, Tyler Wilson, is in the house. Very excited to have him here. And, Tyler, we're going to talk about a few things, all right? So, the goal here, we want people to start coming out to Oakland Mainline on Monday nights. All right, we really have not had a lot going on Monday nights, so we're going to do this each and every week. Last week I had Jay Wright. I know you're very familiar with a guy named Jarius Wright.
I threw a couple balls to him.
A couple balls to Jay Wright back in the day. Also, next week we're going a little before our time. Linebacker Sam Alajabutu will be joining us. And if you remember him, he was thumping people across the middle. But, Tyler, it's all going to be about, a little reminiscent, all right? And so thank you for being here. And don't forget, if you come out here, I got the Wise Guys in studio last week. Now, AD put on a performance not only on the field, but led most of game night. We have trivia game night here tonight.
Good.
Somebody's going to have a chance to win $100. Somebody's going to have a chance to win $50 and then $30. And we're going to have giveaways as well, giving away 10 tickets to the Wise Guys games over here in Hot Springs. So all that going on, but most importantly, let's do some catching up, all right? So once again, if you are listening to us on the stream right now, any questions that you have for Tyler, now is the time to go ahead and get those in so we can go ahead and get this cooking and up and running. But, Tyler, first of all, I got to ask, man, how you been?
Man, I'm great.
Yeah?
I'm great.
Yeah?
It's so good to see you, man. I walk in here and it feels like we can pick up right where we left off.
I mean, yeah, maybe not as fast, maybe not as smooth, but we're going to try to do a little something. We got a little wiggle in the tank.
I think so.
Yeah.
Sarah doubts me a little bit, every now and then, but we still have a little bit of fun. I've got a nephew that's a quarterback at Greenwood High School now. He's coming up, or a cousin, and then I've got a little nephew, and so I got to remind him every now and then that I still got it in the tank. But it's fun to get around and talk football. It's obviously coming amongst us, and then we're here at Oakland, the sports book, which is always a good
always a good time here. And you still got it. Don't forget, not too long ago, we were at a Ryan Mallett Foundation 7-on-7 tournament. All right.
That's right.
We still wiggling a little bit here or there, right? You still got that cannon.
As long as I don't have to run anywhere, I'm in good shape.
Yeah, I get it. So let's take a little trip down memory lane. So you got to think, Tyler came in a year after me. You came in with the crew as in Joe Adams, Jarius Wright, Greg Childs, Chris Gregg, DeAnthony Curtis. I mean, you can just keep on going. Dennis Johnson. Was Ronnie Ringo in that class as well? The year after. A year behind you. So the fun thing about it is we also had a guy on the team at that moment. His name was Ryan Mallett. All right. And he was Dylan. But I think the first time Arkansas fans had a glimpse of Tyler Wilson and what Tyler Wilson was, in my opinion, all right, was that Auburn game.
Sure.
When Mallett went down with a concussion. And then they called the kid in, all right? And at this time, this is prime Cam Newton, all right? And so everybody was just like, oh, this game's a wrap.
Sure.
The kid came in and absolutely started Dylan. So I actually got some of that tape right now. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of it. And you can tell me as we kind of go through this some of your memories. And if you look right here, Tyler, this is a 3rd and 17, all right? The thing with the Petrino offense, it didn't matter if it was 3rd and 84. All right. We always had a chance to get things up and running. So do you remember this play right here? One of your first big time downs. It's only second quarter.
Looks like we've got doubles right set here. So pretty standard. We're trying to, I think we've had an option route, and, play wasn't open to the right side. This is really one of the first plays I've, had to kind of ad-lib, get outside the pocket and make a play. Joe Adams had an option route here to the left. I knew I could come back to him. And, they're in what I would call just a two deep set here. And so I really wanted to work this to the right and ended up coming back to the left because it wasn't, didn't pan out to the right. Joe didn't get off the ball great. I love Joe, but in this picture,
come on, Joe, tighten up.
Joe didn't get off the ball great. So I'm like, okay, he's not in full.
Joe's right here. If you can see my mouse on the screen, that's Joe Adams, but go ahead.
And so I ended up coming back to the right side, trying to work the right. And then it leads me back to Joe. And then he finds a way to wiggle, talking about wiggling open.
Yeah.
He figures out a way to wiggle open here. And so it was a great ab lib first down, on a
3rd and 17.
3rd and 17.
Let's go.
We hit it for a first. That's a big, what I call a chunk play. And to me, sometimes the scheduled plays are great when you hit them.
Yeah.
But it was the off schedule plays that are even better when you hit them, because you're like, okay, if things aren't just perfect, I can still make plays against this defense. And so that was a good play, I think, early on in the game that really kind of settled me in.
And the cool thing about it too is for you to kind of get in that situation, not to panic, understanding, okay, option one's not there, two's not there, eyes downfield. Was that a little Greenwood coming in too? Because that was you in high school.
I always felt that in certain practice situations, I never got to showcase, some of the skills, because, it's 1, 2, 3 balls out. And if the ball's not out, you're whistling for a sack. So you never got to really extend the play in practice. And so everyone is all about Omahags right now, because they just went the
100%. Come on now. We got the Omahags doing the thing.
I was a baseball guy, and I felt like until this moment, I never really got to showcase myself, and not only from a fan base perspective, probably come on the radar, but also a lot of self-belief that, I can be here and play at a high level. Unfortunately, I was doing that for 2.5, 3 years in practice. And this just being a moment, obviously CVS Sports, you had Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson on the call.
Hey, you remember the call?
How
many times did you go back and watch this?
When I have a bad day.
Is that it? Yeah.
I bet Sarah's never seen this. Has
no, you haven't seen this? Come on now. We got his lady here. Maybe we can get them on camera, answer a couple questions.
It might have been date one, night one.
Let's go.
This was after the pizza and beer.
Yeah, I get it. All right, let's go ahead and keep this thing rolling. So we're moving along. Tyler, you're doing your thing. Once again, Mallett's out. Everybody's thinking, oh, no, what are the Razorbacks going to do? And let's get to this next play right here. And then you find this guy, 8'5", in the end zone, Greg Childs. I mean, he's one of those guys where you understand if it's going to be man-to-man, give him a shot, right?
Sure, yeah, and that was 4-day-1 Eagle X Go.
Easy. Say it again. All right, give me the play call. What do we got?
Well, I think this is what it is. It's 480 Eagle X Go. And
okay.
So basically, it's Bobby's way to, tag a very base play in our system with a go route on the outside. And when you hear X Go, you're throwing this thing to Childs one-on-one.
100%.
So that was Bobby's way to, let's get the ball snapped and throw one-on-one outside to Greg and let him make a play.
So this was pre-snap, and you understood where you wanted to go. What would happen in the secondary that would make you come off of Greg before everything gets started?
Obviously, they had a deep safety there. You can see the 20-yard line in the background. If they had a floater over the top of it, I'd come off it and get back to the base play. But when you tag it like this, you're expecting to get the right set and the right look.
Yeah.
We call the play, we get the look we're wanting, and really it's a jump ball.
Yeah.
And that was his biggest strength. I think if you look back on Child's career, when he was at his best, pre patella, pre some of the knee, he one-on-one was probably one of the best receivers in the league, if not the best.
100%. Yeah. In the broadcast, they say that's an NFL receiver out there playing in college right now. So great look, wasted no time, 3-step drop, a couple hitches up, boom, strike, and let Childs win the one-on-one battle. And once again, here's I think a little bit better look. Yeah, that scenario right there, DB, you can't play Childs like that. You can't let him play the ball in the air. Great adjustment, way to get the feet down. I mean, is he not one of the biggest what ifs?
He unfortunately, of our class, of all the guys you mentioned, he was the best player, I think, that had long-term NFL.
Oh, he had the build.
He just, in the NFL, you got to be able to win one-on-one battles. You've got to be able to catch 50-50 balls. You got to go up in high point. And then you have to have the stamina and the physical nature to sustain one long, seasons, and the physical abuse that goes along with it. To me, he had that. And you have to have a little bit of what we call dog in you. He had dog.
Can't be no little puppy walking around there, right? Not on that field. And I just want to let people know, if you have any questions for Tyler, I am seeing them. I would pull up our thread, but I want to remind you, kids, watch this stream. So watch your language in the chat, all right? Look at this. See this dude's doing right here? What are we doing? I can't put that up on the screen.
Yeah, I can't see that. Yeah.
I mean, I agree with what they're saying. We totally agree. That is King Command. Hopefully I'm saying that right. We agree with you 100%. but we can't be putting up on the screen. All right.
You know, you look back on the score of this game, and it doesn't reflect what happened because you had the. Speaking of, I think the word there was maybe getting cheated out of it. That may be the PG word. But did we get cheated out of a game here? You know, I don't know. They had some really good players on the other side, but
a couple questionable. I mean, they had the
certainly
best player in
questionable.
college at that time,
Yeah, I mean,
Cam
Cam
Newton.
Newton. You can't argue that.
Yeah.
But I think it was, if I'm remembering right, they had I think it was a touchdown actually called. It was 7 points that
You want me to
easily-
want me to recollect or what's the word? Recollect your memory?
Please do.
I know
It's been
exactly
15
what it
years
was. It was close before halftime. They're driving. Our defense is having a stand,
Yeah.
and they end up running the ball, and it's almost close to the goal line. Tremaine Thomas, our safety, comes up at the goal line, punches it out.
I was thinking
fumble.
Jericho Nelson.
No, it was Tremaine Thomas, punches it out, and the ball would have been ours. Boom, call it a day, touchback. And it was called a no touchdown on the field. And then they ended up changing the call to a touchdown. So when it hit the replay, there wasn't enough evidence to turn it over either single way. Coach Petrino about had a brain aneurysm on the sideline, and it was pretty unfortunate. And then the one when Cam Newton pitched it, his knee was down. We saw the things. And then when Broderick fumbled,
that's the one I was going to say.
he got to hold on to it now, right?
Yeah.
But still, he was down.
Well, but yeah, I mean, in the whole rolling over and, you know, an opposing player and the ball coming loose, is your knee down, but is his back not down? You know, those are all the calls that unfortunately, you know, make what football is. You know, that you always go back to the one play that could have went this direction or that way. There's probably 3 or 4 in that particular game that you'd go back to and have some questions.
And now King, he went and commented. I'll go ahead and throw that up on the screen. I can show this one. He commented saying, "My bad, gents, but it still makes me mad, LOL." Like I said, King, we're with you. We agree. All right, we agree 100%. And don't forget, keep on asking questions. I'm going to throw those up on the screen.
I'm ready for some more highlights.
Yeah, I got you, baby.
Hey,
you got your lady here. She's going to watch all these. T-Will, this is, like I said before, the nation knew who he was. After this game, everyone knew who Tyler Wilson was. All right, so let's go ahead and keep this thing rolling. This is break this down. Ronnie Wingo back at the end zone. Is this the same play we ran against Alabama?
It is.
To open it up? All right, there we go.
It's the opposite direction, but it's, I think we called it a Trojan, right? So,
you
know, basically a wheel route out of the backfield that you're, you know, reading this in this instance, it's Ronnie Wingo. Ronnie ran a good wheel route. He always did.
Yep.
And then, you know, you just read this. Right to left, basically, it's what I would call a scan read or a full field read. So you're starting on the right side, waiting for a wheel route. You got to post over the top with Greg Childs. So
I'm going to try my best to draw this. This mouse, Greg Childs, and he's already been doing his thing. So we're going to go ahead and run him off, and he's going to run a post. Sorry, I don't have my little graphics on the screen. We'll do that during football season, I promise. And then you're keying this guy. This linebacker right here is going to have Ronnie Ringo in the backfield, man-to-man coverage. So the thing is, too, you would like for him to maybe do a little inside stem to maybe disrupt this a little bit. Am I making that up? Or
you've actually got the tight end as well that's going to cause.
Yeah, I think his name's DJ Williams. I don't know.
You know that guy?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's pretty.
So
big time
hopefully
baller.
getting some disruption.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you get this in a quarter set. You'll watch the.
Look at that
little rub.
It's not illegal.
No, it's not if you just happen to be where you're supposed to
now,
be at the right time.
The key is you would like this receiver to finish his route and not just kind of shut it down. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's rock and roll.
Yep.
Easy money and a dime over the shoulder. Now, that's a big-time catch. I don't think Wingo gets enough credit because I don't know if y'all played at Auburn Stadium. What's that, Jared Air? I can never pronounce it.
Jordan Air.
Jordan Air. Look at that sun. I mean, can't see anything looking back into the sun. Good ball placement, and now we're rolling. All right, let's keep the ball moving on this one. And this shot right here, ooh, over the middle. Joe Adams, T-Will celebrating. And you can see this angle right here. But before you talk about this play, everybody's excited. I think we took the lead on this one. Dang, I thought I had it in there. There was a shot. Actually, that's coming up here in a little bit. So go ahead and talk about this play right here. Formation, what's your read? Obviously, you got Joe Adams coming across the middle to go ahead and take this into the end zone, but it has to be a perfectly placed ball because you get that Mike linebacker in your way.
Yeah, this is one, you know, you threw the 3rd and 11 on there. We convert. We throw the touchdown to Greg Childs, getting a little confidence. We hit the Ronnie Wingo touchdown. Now we're like, all right, I got this, right?
You're feeling yourself.
We got this. Right? I think at this point, I don't know what the stats were, but I think I was probably like 11 of 12 or
Let's
13
go.
of 14 with a throwaway. So I've hit everything that we've, put together. So look at the 3 deep here, right? So
Yep.
if you're, in the quarterback room, you're probably up in the press box going, okay, we got 2 curls on the outside. We got a seam down the middle. And, we've got some, what I call flat routes on the outside. So, Tyler, you probably need to read this curl to flat here if I'm in the box. So I know Petrino's probably thinking that. But what they do is they're disguising a 3 deep and then they're rolling to a deep 2.
Oh,
and
yeah.
What they were doing is that middle
It's this backer right. You see this guy right here? Last minute at the snap of the ball, he's going to go into this half of the field. So they're going to move to cover 2. Now, this is pretty late on Auburn's. I would say kind of cocky. I mean, I don't think they had those type of athletes that year. They did in Cam Newton, but this is an extremely late rotation.
This is what happens when you get 3 years in Petrino's system.
Yeah.
Or 2 years before you get to go out and shine, right?
Glad you brought that up.
And here we are. If I was just a young gun stuck into the game for the first time, I'm probably just saying, okay, they're in 3 deep. I take the snap and then I work curl to stretch.
Yeah.
Curl to flat. Here I'm getting the ball post snap. I'm reading that they're actually, moving post snap, and I'm going, the ball here never, on doubles right 80. How many times did Joe Adams catch a ball on doubles right 80?
Maybe in practice.
How many in 4 years? Probably. I bet he caught it 3 times in 4 years if you pulled all the cut ups up.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is. We're on national stage playing Auburn in a game that really matters. And I knew they weren't carrying the linebacker in cover 2. And here they are. And I see it and I pull the trigger.
So, I mean, that's big time. Hold on. Let me go back a little bit more. And then the placement, too, because you also are wearing that cover 2. This backer, let me pause this, dadgummit. I need my clicker. We need a clicker. This backer right here is huge because he's eyeing you down. He knows where you want to go. So this ball placement, there's only one place you can put it. Dude's on fire. He's Dylan. And I remember on the call, correct me if I'm wrong, they said there ain't no other backup quarterbacks in the country that can do that. So that was pretty special, and that was pretty fun to watch. So at this point, you're feeling it.
Your boy here, Tim Horton.
Yeah,
right?
Tim Horton.
He's catching a frame here. So actually back it up a half a clip where you can see I'm holding my hands in the air for celebration.
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me get.
Usually don't get all hyped up.
Oh, is that you?
But
is that a horn? Wait.
So
what are you doing? Are you doing a horns up?
Is that a Texas signal?
Yeah. What are you? You drunk out there? Lost
that was actually me.
Come on, man.
Catching a glimpse at Garrick McGee. And I said, those suckers went cover 2. You son.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Just throwing up cover 2. That's pretty special.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about Garrick McGee. I need to take notes because there's a whole bunch of questions I want to ask you once we get through this. So get the ball rolling. Once again, beautiful shot. The only place to put it. And Joe Adams, great catch into the end zone. All right, here's another one. All right, and once again, Greg Childs doing his thing. And this is, once again, another pre-snap read, I would assume. It's just a slant route. But once again, from what they're showing pre-snap, what are you thinking?
So oftentimes this is triple slant. I don't know if I've played in many systems that had a triple slant. I've had double slant, slant arrow, and those, but you rarely get triple slant. The reason you do triple slant is if they are playing a single high with man coverage on the outside, it's an easy way to basically isolate your best player. Again, we've got Greg Childs. We feel like that's a good matchup. We threw the Eagle X Go for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Here he is. How do we get it to him in a high percentage throw, not necessarily a fade ball, but how do we get his hands on the ball? We've got 3rd and 5 here. So high percentage completion. Really the 2 inside receivers, their objectives are to clear it out for, I think, our best receiver on the outside one-on-one. And he's got a chance to really run out the backside on this.
All right. And just take a second to take this in. All right. You got Greg Childs, Joe Adams, Jarius Wright, some scrub named DJ down here. I mean, weapons. Sure. How fun was that as a quarterback, knowing that you had a weapon at every position? And I didn't even mention Colby Hamilton's all the way on the other side.
Well, I think the thing that excites me about this game is, a lot of people get recognition for being excellent, but to me, this was a great example of team. What a team around you can do. Sure, I was doing some decent things and I was doing what I was supposed to do from a quarterback perspective. But if everyone else is doing what they're supposed to do, it makes your job a heck of a lot better. And I think that, you go back to that team, that clip, look at the offensive line there.
Look at that pocket.
In all of these, compared to my senior year or maybe even my junior year, this offensive line group was pretty dang good.
Yeah.
You had time to stand in there with a clean pocket and deliver balls like this, which, I think is valuable to the success of not only me, but for the team. We had a good team that year.
All right, let's keep it rolling. Sarah, you liking all this? Yeah, you got your girl over here smiling ear to ear. That is my man. I see him. All right, let's keep it rolling. Obviously, Greg takes this one to the house. If you're a Razorback fan, you remember that one. And Greg, what is this? His third touchdown at this point? And I want to pause right here. All right, talk about this dude. What does it feel knowing you got, at that time and still in his career, one of the greatest Razorbacks of all time? And at this point, he was in the Heisman watch list in college football. And he's over here. I mean, that relationship, knowing you're looking to the sideline, Ryan Mallett's looking at me and he's my biggest fan. What was that like?
In the days of NIL, I don't know if we would, this clip probably comes up, because, I would have been probably in a different position. Baseball probably would have enticed me to be somewhere else. But in this case, I felt like this guy who, I committed to Arkansas. He transferred right after I committed. Again, my class, you mentioned all the guys in my class, but we both had to do some soul searching as to what our careers look like. And in my case, I probably took a back seat for a couple of years and had to learn. But the beauty was I got to learn from someone who had unbelievable skill set, very strong arm. And I think we pushed each other, but he also pushed me every single day in practice. You look at this picture, I think this shows the selflessness of Ryan Mallett in this particular case. This was a game where he was supposed to go up head to head against Cam Newton, and it was supposed to be the Ryan Mallett Cam Newton show. And instead he's seeing me have success in his place where he can't be on the field that time, but he knows how important the game is.
Yep.
And he's had as big a impact on this game as you can from the sidelines, I think, is probably any player we ever played with. Do you remember any player being on the sideline, being as enthusiastic as he was for this game?
No, he was a psychopath on the sideline. You know what I mean? They almost had to not let him back on the sideline because he's about to run it on the field. He's in concussion protocol. He didn't care. I thought that's just pretty special, so I wanted to pause at that moment. All right, let's go ahead and keep this ball rolling. And this play I want to show because I think this is Tyler Wilson to a T. Now, this isn't a big-time touchdown. This is a nice snag by Greg Childs, all right? And he took a shot right there, but this was Tyler Wilson, all right? Take a look as I pause right here. They bring a late blitz. You see this guy with my little mouse, all right? The thing about it is Tyler can see this guy, and he knows if he throws this ball and steps into this throw, he's going to take a hit on the chin, and it's going to hurt. All right, look at this. Throws into it, takes a big-time hit, but delivers a strike. And look at the window you need to fit it in. That was you. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is how often did Coach Petrino in practice preach this? Like, take it on the chin, Wilson.
Yeah.
But a lot of people couldn't do this. What was it about you that made you think, I will put my body on the line, it doesn't matter, to get that throw and help my team out?
Well, I had sit on the sideline for long enough to realize that, you've got one shot. And I think if anything, Petrino really engraved that you really don't get a leash no matter how good you are, right? You mess up once, twice, you don't get the third time. I mean, and so, and you might not even get the second time. And so, I knew that, one, I needed to do my job, but two, if I didn't, there'd be someone right behind me that would be replacing me pretty quickly. I look at that. The running back, could have made the decision. Does he let that player go and dump him in the flats? Because really, that's a flat read type of a throw.
Yeah.
But I knew that we didn't get the running back out there, and so I had to make a throw. And ultimately, this is another great save and a great catch by Greg Childs.
Yeah, unreal. All right, so that was a little fun trip down memory lane with my guy Tyler Wilson. So, like I said, I'm not going to have you long. All right, so everybody at home, if this is something you want to be a part of, see this in person, have a chance, talk to Tyler, ask him questions. Actually, right now, if you are here, there's a microphone set up. If you have a question for Tyler, all you have to do is walk up to the mic. We'll put you on the screen. Audio's working this week, and we'll make sure we get that question answered. But let's go ahead and go through a few of these questions right now. And let's transition and talk about the current state of the Arkansas football team. Okay. Our good friends at OAKLAWN right now, right? They got them at 5.5 on the year. That's where they're currently sitting. I asked Jay Wright this question last week. Are we over or under 5.5? We'll talk about that here in a second. But I want to go ahead and pull this up right now. This is from, I don't even know how to pronounce that name. They say, Tyler, do you think there's a certain thing or things that Arkansas quarterbacks in the past 5 years that they have been lacking? Example, ability to read defense, check down too early, winning mentality, etc. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate the question coming in. It's been a minute since we've just had a sure thing. I mean, we'll get to Taylor in here in a little bit, but just go past 5 years. What are your thoughts on the quarterback position?
I think it's since we've left. I mean, I don't want to call it 5 years. Feels like 15. It's
been 15 for me, 14
right?
for you.
So let's go back that long. Obviously, you've had Brandon Allen, you had Austin Allen following us. There was some success in those years.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've had some good quarterback play. I mean, KJ Jefferson gave us some really solid years. Taylor Green, I think you saw the potential out of him last year. There were from a team wise, it's up and down moments, but I think Taylor was the shining spot, if there was a shining spot to last year's success. And I think you go back to Petrino. What is the second year with Petrino mean? This will be the first time we get a chance to see that. I think everybody was like, okay, we're excited we get Bobby Petrino back. We know he can call ball plays. Now he's got to develop a quarterback. The question is, can he develop a quarterback as an assistant coach where he's not maybe creating the game plans every single day or practice plans, which I felt was probably mine and Ryan's biggest, value, is we got to mature and got to learn under the system of which he was scheming practice every day, calling the blitz cards, training the blitz cards. And as a result, I matured greatly as a quarterback under that system. I think you're starting to see all of when you go back on film this year and watch Taylor from last year, you're going to go, holy cow, we left 14 points, maybe 21 points.
I was going to say about 28, 32.
The scoreboard. Like you could go back and go wide open. Ooh, there was a miss, or we overthrew that. And he was, so anytime you've got that on film, there's times where, it looks like the game's really hard and there's no way we're going to beat Alabama, or there's no way we're going to beat LSU. You can start believing. I think all of the rest of the people in the room start to believe, all the running backs start to believe, the defensive guys start to believe when they start to pull up on team tape and they're like, we only got beat by 7 points for them last year, but here's 5 plays
at least
that we could have won by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. And you said if things were different, which I get, a lot of people, we had the same conversation with Felix Jones and Darren McFadden sitting right there on this couch, okay?
Yeah.
And Felix said, man, if there was a portal and NIL back in the day, I would have been gone, all right?
Sure.
But we get it, just because you got 2 guys who are super talented, same thing with you and Mallet. But then I also think, I remember your freshman year coming in, trying to learn that offense for the first time.
Here in the headlights.
1,000 miles an hour,
Sure.
okay? But then you sit and you're able to learn it, and the game slows down. And so for Taylor Green's perspective, I think we're going to give him a little time to adjust, because it is big time.
Sure.
Trying to learn that offense, the ins and out. The thing that concerns me, and I asked Jay this last week, okay, now you got a year 2 Taylor Green, but now you got all new receivers who are now learning the offense for the first time.
And I don't want to be the one that somebody quotes on on some sort of column tomorrow morning that says I said this about somebody. But I mean, we're speaking honest. I think we're speaking true on this cast. And I think the objective, if you're a coach, is it's great if the quarterback knows what to do, but everybody around him has to know what to do too.
Got to know.
And that's back to my comment while we were watching that. We had a great team which ultimately made me look good in that sequence. But we truly had a great team. That was our best year. If you take over the last 15 or 20 years, the best Arkansas teams, you think 2007 Arkansas Razorbacks.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the obviously go to the SEC championship game, and
don't talk
I know don't talk about Fishkill, but I got it. Then you go on. I think I would say that 2010 team was probably the best cumulative team since the 2007 and probably beyond. So a lot of those clips, I think, were truly your best players. So in defense of Talon, while I think he will be better, I think the biggest question mark for this year is, does the supporting cast, can they really add value to him?
And another thing too, when you got young guys that are talented, how much is it going to be on Talon's shoulders, and how much will it help him now, year 2 in, understanding it, hopefully understanding it to the way that we wish he would? When they break the huddle, hey, don't forget that's 6 yards in that 5. Hey, don't forget speed cut that one. Don't break it off. You think he's going to be able to get that's year 2, year 3 type stuff?
My year 4 and year 5, if you remember, my year 5 wasn't that great. I knew a heck of a lot about that offensive system, probably as good of knowledge as I could have ever had about that system. And I was breaking the huddle with a lot of those questions being asked. And
that's a lot.
Even though I was in a better spot mentally and probably the best quarterback I was during my career, I didn't have the best year.
Yeah.
So I know that's not what we wanted to hear, but
it's the truth. And like I said, I have a hard time trying to believe that too. When you have a complete new cast, almost a complete new offensive line, it's a little scary.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers played for the Jets last year. I don't know if you watched it, but he's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah.
They had
we will say this in Arkansas's defense. I would say almost all the teams in the country are dealing with the exact same thing. So it's not just us. So coaching is going to be paramount. All right, here's another question right here. This is from Pooh Bear to Plug. Pooh Bear actually won yesterday's trivia. No, I'm lying. You got beat last minute. I'm sorry, Pooh Bear, to bring that up. I apologize about that. But he has a question. How does Bobby Petrino and Kendall Briles' offense compare? If you could cherry pick elements from each for your ideal playbook, what would you build? Come on, OC Tyler Wilson.
Well, let's go back to, first of all, if you asked me this question when we started implementing a 2-back offensive set and had Kiero Small in there, very different offenses, Bobby Petrino and Kendall Briles.
Yeah.
Now, today's Bobby Petrino and today's Kendall Briles, is there similarities? I think my opinion of what Coach Petrino has done, he's evolved as the game's evolved. Right, the 2-back Tom Coughlin, 142 Z Packer days, or that outside zone 39 boss lead. Is that the Bobby Petrino offense that we're getting now? My opinion is no, it's not. We got some of those because they're just base plays. There's thing, but we're doing things out of let's go back to the pistol days at Nevada, really, right, where Colin Kaepernick came from.
Yeah,
we're really implementing a RPO system. And since Ryan and I, the two guys that couldn't run from here to the other side of the place, I think Coach Petrino's made a conscious effort to have a running quarterback. He felt like that was the probably the equalizer. We never could beat Alabama when we were playing, regardless of how good we could throw it. And we needed a quarterback that could really run against man coverage. He got that when he went to Louisville the second go around with Lamar Jackson. Game changed. He changed. So I do think there's some similarities in the question that you ask about Kendall Briles and Bobby Petrino, what we're calling 2.0.
Yeah, 2.0 for sure. I got another question right here. This is from Renee Simmons. Tyler, do you think quarterbacks have it easier than you did when you played? I can answer that question.
Easier? I'm still waiting for that NIL, whatever the kickback.
They just had the settlement. All right, so there was a $2.4 billion settlement for all collegiate athletes, and it dates back to, you just missed it. Actually, we both missed it. 2015 or 2016. So we don't get any of that kickback.
I ChatGPT before I got here. I said, how about 2008 through 2012?
Nothing.
And it says pending. Pending. I think there's still a chance. You're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, this thing will be paid out over 10 years, and it's not just for football players. It's for every collegiate athlete. So
they have it easier. what do they say? You buy your mom a new pair of shoes. I probably could have bought mom.
Hey, after that's all split up and done, they're going to get about a check for $25 in the mail.
You're right. We did get that NCAA settlement.
That was nice. Do you remember that?
$600.
We were in the NFL by then, so it is what it is. But as far as Petrino on these coaches, we know what it was like in practice with us.
Sure.
Do you think he's the same Coach P, especially now that he's not the head coach?
Seems different. I don't want to give too many recruiting stories away, but I know there's a guy that goes to school where I went to school in high school. He's a highly recruited player right now.
Is he playing there right now?
His
name's Kane Archer. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. Yeah, he's pretty good.
I hear some recruiting stories and I'm like, man, I don't have quite that same recruiting story.
Oh, is it nice getting all buttered up?
I just maybe I wasn't that good with a player. I think that might be it. But ultimately, I think there's a different Bobby Petrino, and this is not just me saying it, it's everybody that you've talked to. He's in a different phase of life. I mean, you look at Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is a different player. Michael Jordan was a different player when as he matures, and not only players and how that relates to coaching, but I think we're all different. As we move through life and have things go on and also learn. And I think he's changed. I think his personality's changed. But I tell you what, you still see him on the sideline. You're gonna get the hot Bobby Petrino. It's just in his blood. Always will be.
Also, too, this will be the last one, and you don't have to talk about this if you don't want to. But you've kind of mentioned that on a couple places, being referred to as as 8 and not Tyler. What was that like? Being coached so hard by somebody at the time, it seems like maybe you were thinking, I really wish this dude cared a little bit more about me if you're going to get on to me that much.
Yeah, well, I think it's just it's coaching's different. He's an NFL guy. He's been an NFL guy. NFL coaches, as you know, are very different.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I even got coached in the NFL. It's a guidebook.
Yeah.
They just, here's the book, learn it, and if you can't cut it, then
we'll find someone else.
Cut you, and then we'll move on. And it's not our job really to teach you. I wouldn't say his vision was that. It was a little more hands-on, but it was very transactional. He was referring to you as the number, not as the human being, because he wanted to. I mean, you were to perform as though you were the number, and that wasn't. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I think that's actually a good thing. It's equalness across the board, right? We're all figures here to do what we're supposed to do to win ball games. And, I would say he, a lot of times he's probably acknowledged as the quarterback guru, and he is, I think, but during our time, it was Coach McGee in pretty much all of those meetings. And he would intervene when the time was necessary, and a lot of, those play call meetings and different things like that. But primarily, my involvement was with Garrett on a day-to-day basis.
Garrett's awesome. Interesting cat. That is for sure. All right, we're about to wrap this up, and in classic DJ fashion, my bad, I didn't see it. I thought my lady spell checked me on this one. All right. Let me break up this comment. I know Tyler Wilson is spelled with one L. All right, I get it. Who is this? Bill, leave me alone. Look what I've been doing. I haven't even caught this. Tyler, you haven't even caught this. Look at this.
My eyes are getting old.
Is that what it is? I can't see either. To me, that looks like one L on this screen. It's much smaller than what I'm looking at.
Clearly, I didn't catch it.
I didn't catch it either. Here, watch this. Jeez, please let me live. Would you? Look at this. You ready for this? Oh, it's awesome. Tyler, I appreciate you. Real quick, what are you doing now? Let people know what you got going on.
Man, I'm in the real estate business.
Ooh.
I'm incognito. It's so funny because you can say I'm in the real estate business. It's like, well, that's so vast. Like there's so many different angles and directions you could go with real estate. Brokerage, you're posted on every corner, right? You can't have enough signage. You can't have enough visibility, and like your face is out there. I'm in the development world. So, I basically am a net lease real estate guy. So I develop properties for national franchises or franchisees,
nice.
Really all over the country. So we've got projects in Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Arizona, Florida. So I'm on the run. I'm in the car and I'm on the phone, and that's my life now. I try to keep up with football, but it's so hard when you've got these other things going. So Serious Investments is the name of our firm.
That's awesome. How much money do you make a year? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Hey, Tyler, you see, sounds like a lot. I know that. All right. Yeah. You going to have us over?
Not enough.
You're going to have us over, hang out?
Come over and do a pool party. We've got a pool party. We should have the water going in this week. It can't be in fast enough.
Okay. All right, Tyler, I appreciate you. Thanks so much. Like I said, I know you got to get on back. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start game night around 6:50-ish. So if you're at home and you want a chance to win $100, too bad. You have to be here to be able to win that, all right? So that's the incentive of coming out here to Mainline Sports Bar. We're going to put up on all these monitors, Tyler, this game called Jackbox, all right? You ever play Jackbox? It's pretty fun.
I'm all about it.
And I make it easy. It's true or false, all right? Okay. It's quick and easy, and it keeps score. Okay. And then the person with the highest score is going to win the money. Second place gets a prize. Third place gets a prize, all right? It's pretty fun. The Wise Guys are here. This is the new arena team here in Hot Springs, all right? They kind of showed out last week. They didn't win. Last week, a guy by the name of Diddy Do It, very interesting name, ended up pulling out a late win. So that was pretty fun as well. So, Tyler, I'm going to let you go. But before we wrap this up, we're not going to play the game streaming. I want people here to be able to play that. So come on out next Monday. Don't forget, Sam Alajabutu will be here next week. Big time linebacker for the Razorbacks, living in Little Rock. He's going to come hang out with us here 6 o'clock next Monday. So put that on your calendars. But I'm going to have AD. Is AD in the house? All right. AD is going to join. All right. So, Tyler, this guy right here. All right.
Okay.
I don't know if you've been seeing these clips of the Wise Guys, but this dude one-hand snag while getting hit over the wall, still catches it, and then I keep watching all these highlights every time. Catch over the wall, catch over the wall. He comes down with it, but he has a celebration. I'm not exactly sure. He does something like this, and everybody comes up. I'm going to have him explain what that celebration is. What is that? What is that? Kissing the ring. Oh, you a mob boss. Wise Guys, I'm in it. Boom, I'm in it. You learn a lot today, all right? I get it. I like it. Smart man. Marketing. This dude's going to make some money. Tyler, I appreciate you. I'm going to mute your mic while you get up, and I'm going to go have AD come in. Appreciate you, man. All right.
Love you, buddy.
Have a good one. Love you too, man. All right. Tyler Wilson in the house. Always appreciate him and everything that he does. We're going to get them switched up, and then we're about 10. Is that Trip? I didn't know Trip was here. What's up, man? How are you doing? Yeah. That's him, Tyler. Hey, dude's got hands, man. T-Will in the house. T-Will in the house. All right, appreciate you. You want your Miller Lite? You ain't got to hide it. Get that man another beer. You know what I mean? You ain't in no rush. Hang out. You don't drink that, AD. You got to be tightened up, ready to go, all right?
To go.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing?
We back at it, all right?
Yeah.
So, balling out on the field. Last week, you also did great here, but you said you got a little too confident towards the end of game night, right?
Yeah.
You ended up slipping to 4th place. It's cool, though. You got a chance of redemption here tonight. But once again, I want to tell people about the Wise Guys. And once again, if you are here and you're playing, I said the top 3 people, they're going to get top place $100. I actually got the gift cards right here. Second place is $50. Third place is $30. And also, we're going to be giving away 10 tickets to the Wise Guys games for the top 10 people that place. Now, obviously, if one of the Wise Guys is in that top 10, we will take them out and we'll just go down to where the top 10 people left will get Wise Guys tickets. So that'll be fun. But people haven't had a chance to come out, AD, and they want to know what this is all about. What's the game environment like? What's the vibe? Is it fast, slow? Tell them what coming to a game watching y'all is like.
Basically, it's indoor football. It's a 50-yard field. We play 4 quarters like regular football, and it's a wall-based arena, and it's fast-paced, high-scoring games, unless the team decides to run the ball on us because, we're going to score on offense. Biggest thing is the defense we got is good. It's like a 7-on-7 type of field, and, it's a family-fun environment. I don't see a lot of big cities doing it. It's more like small town, and good for marketing to get bigger crowds.
Yep.
And I think Hot Springs had the largest crowd in the TAL.
Oh, y'all was showing out.
Yeah.
All right, it's fun. Yeah, that's a good thing about the Hot Springs community. They do such a great job. And the cool thing about it too, you have OAKLAWN here in your backyard. Big supporters of the Wise Guys. And where are you originally from?
Corpus Christi, Texas.
So you don't know what this is Yeah, you really haven't been here that long yet.
Sir.
You're going to love the Spa
yeah.
City. All right. I know you probably already like it, but
I'm a big
you
fan
just
of
wait till the races come around and all that good stuff. Oaklawn's the place to be.
Okay.
You know what I think? This is what gets me in trouble because I just be saying stuff. I'm thinking player of the week maybe gets a free night stay at the resort. I don't know. Maybe, you know.
We got to figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But, you know, you're just these catches you've been making, man. I mean, you've been doing that your whole career. At what point? Because I'm always curious. Me being out there, not having these walls and barriers, I don't have to think about that.
Oh, yeah.
How long did it take you to adjust? Like, I'm about to get hit over this wall, and I got to hold on to the ball.
Yeah, so it was my rookie year. So really how I got into arena was COVID.
Okay.
But 2021 really learned just the game. Honestly, I talked to a guy named Malachi. And that name Malachi Jones. He's probably one of the best arena receivers in the game. And that's kind of who I, talked to. My older brother also played and just kind of, got me into being able to get over the fear of getting hit. It's like getting hit by a big linebacker. You know? Just can't be scared of going over the middle.
Okay.
So that's what you got to compare it to.
The thing, that wall ain't moving, though.
Man, it's not moving.
At all.
I win every time.
Every single time.
So the biggest thing I try to do is get my knees up,
and
it doesn't hurt as bad. The adrenaline's rushing. You're obviously sore in the morning, but just the mindset of being a dog out there, making plays for your team.
And the thing, too, is y'all have the opportunity not to continue to play the game that you love, but listen to Coach Bones, grow, work on your craft. I mean, it has to be in the back of your mind, if I put some good tape out here and I continue to build and build and build, there's no telling what'll happen and where this will take you.
Yeah, so I try to tell the younger guys on the team, I've never played a full season of arena. So my rookie year, I was able to play, I think, 14 games. I ended up going to CFL in Edmonton. Got to play out there.
Nice.
Signed a 2-year. Came back home, played in the XFL. Only played, I think, 2 games that year. I was able to go to the XFL. So a lot of the young guys on the team, I just let them know it is possible to get out. Got a couple NFL shots. Never got to stick on roster, but, was able to go to a couple camps. And for me personally, I came from a D2. So being able to go the arena route and still be able to kind of make it, I just try to let everybody know it's still possible. If you follow your dreams and you grind, it's possible.
I love that, man. That's awesome, man. So let's again, you don't know the schedule off the top of your head, right? What's the next game?
Next game is next Saturday. We play in Minnesota.
Next, you're going to be at Minnesota.
Yes, and then the next week after that, the 21st, June 21st, is our second home game. So.
Okay, so June 21st, second home game. Back here, time for that is 8 p.m. I will be there flipping the coin. I think Jarius Wright, a former Razorback, he was here last week. We're going to be flipping the coin. And the cool thing about it, too, if this is something you got to follow a team, and if you're a fan of this, they got options when it comes to box seating, even on the field where you're in the action. Probably end up catching him when he comes over the wall. All right. So good things going on with my friends over there right here in Hot Springs. The Wise Guys doing big things. Once again, big shout out to Coach Bones and everything he's been doing. So, all right, this is it. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to turn this stream off because we're going to go ahead and start trivia night. So anybody here tonight, this is what's going to happen. All right. So here in about 5 to 8-ish minutes, you're going to see something pop up on all the monitors. It is Jackbox. If you've never played Jackbox, all you have to do is on your phone. Chris, do we have the QR codes out for people? All right. If not, y'all may have some QR codes on your table. If not, it's super easy. All you have to do is go to jackbox.tv and then just wait. I'm going to put a code up on the screen. You're going to enter 4 letters, and then we're going to play, and it's going to keep track. Now, look here, people. All right. Once you get into that little waiting room, don't press everybody is in. They did that last week. You know what I mean? People weren't ready. It just started. It's hard. All right. Just put in the 4 letters and just wait, and I'll start it. And then we're going to have game night. So appreciate you once again. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Always fun. Good luck tonight.
Yes,
all right.
Hopefully I win this time.
This is what I'm thinking. You go to the casino?
Yeah.
I'm thinking if you win, we go put it on black.
Let's do it.
Double up?
Let's go.
All right, let's do it. All right. It's going to be a fun one. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us here in 4th and 5. Don't forget, we'll be here next Monday. 6 p.m. is the start time. Sam Alajabutu. What Wise Guy? What? Hey, what? Hey, what time when do y'all travel? Y'all travel on the day before to get to Minnesota?
Yes, sir.
So I won't be hanging out with y'all next week. Sorry. It's all right. I'll catch y'all the following week. All right. Appreciate y'all watching 4th and 5. Always having a good one. We'll see y'all next week. game night